I have the Orlando Magic. Jamal Mosley is the new head coach. Long rumored to be in line for a head job, and finally got it. Jalen Suggs drafted 5th. Franz Wagner drafted 8th. They got Detroit's 2026 second rounder and cash from the Clippers for Jason Preston, the number 33 pick. You're doing something to the sheet, but I'm going to trust that's not a big deal. Not a lot else significant. Robin Lopez in on a 1-year, $5 million deal, so he can be close to Disney World almost assuredly. I don't know why else that marriage would have happened. Yet another, is it nepotism if it's brothers, or does it have to be fathers and sons? Because we've got the Antetokounmpos. Mo Wagner is signed to a 2-year deal at the minimum, non-guaranteed in the second year, to play with his brother. Ignas Brazdeikis, former Knick, yeah?
Yes.
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe, yes,
Guys on a 2-way, and each one more, 1 year at the minimum. The subtraction, Steve Clifford, pretty well regarded, but probably not interested in a rebuild, out as head coach. James Ennis, mentioned several times, remains unsigned. Otto Porter Jr. and Dwayne Bacon also out the door. Dan, what do you got for the Orlando Magic in one of the quieter off seasons in the league?
I want to make this clear. This would be an A had they re-signed James Ennis yet. Just like the Knicks would have been an A plus had they been the team that signed James Ennis. But I gave them a C just because and the coaching hire didn't factor into this for me because we don't know enough about Jamal Mosley just because we haven't seen him before. I do like what it says that they're kind of thinking, I don't want to say outside the box, but they didn't try and go with experience where it might suggest that we are going to try and accelerate this rebuild at some point. I don't think any coach necessarily could have done that. The Jalen Suggs pick was fantastic. He fell into their lap. So it's just like, and he looked so good in summer. Jalen Suggs better have a game where he takes 50 shots this year. That's all I'm going to say. At the same time, it's like, okay, there was no decision there for them. Franz Wagner, kind of a rough summer league. I actually saw a lot that I liked there, but again, just could you have gone a different route there and maybe try to load up on more shot creation rather than a dude who doesn't profile as that? There just wasn't a move that blew me off the page. I want to know what it says about their faith in the incumbent bigs, though, Wendell Carter Jr., Mo Bamba specifically, that you signed Robin Lopez and Mo Wagner. There's also going to come a time when Jonathan Isaac is healthy enough to factor into that big man rotation, I assume. They didn't need to do a lot, though. I don't have a problem with what they did this offseason. I think some might rankle at the fact they didn't move Terrence Ross or Gary Harris. I think the time to do that is just going to be at the trade deadline when you have a better idea of what you are, maybe where Gary Harris specifically has had time to actually build up some trade value. I am a little bit surprised that there weren't more rumors about Terrence Ross because I would have thought that for teams that were jilted in free agency, he might have been just the apple of someone's eye at that point. Just zero issue with their offseason. I don't know that they did anything that I would view as surprisingly good. I think everything was solid. And no, the Robin Lopez deal, it doesn't cripple you. And his sweeping hook is fun to watch. And we can watch him beat up on mascots as well. That's the one where it's like, all right, so do you just not believe in Mo Bamba or Wendell Carter Jr. at all because you signed 2 other bigs? But that's even just, I'm becoming a stickler there. So I think a C is solid. I will say Jalen Suggs is going to end up being huge for them. That wasn't a decision for them at that point, not at number 5.
Yeah, and I gave him a B, and it's kind of inconsistent with the way we viewed a lot of other teams' lottery picks. It's just because like Suggs at 5 there's no way they expected that. And it was the easiest pick of the first round, I'm sure, because he was supposed to go 4 and the Raptors didn't take him. So, and Wagner, I think, at the time, I'm a little skeptical just because, like, if the model of him is a 3-and-D wing, like he didn't really shoot a lot of threes in college, and we'll see about the defense. But at the time, and with only summer league to judge, those seem like the right picks. And Lopez, actually, you're talking about the centers. Like, how could you have any faith in the young centers they have at this point? Like they've all been inconsistent or hurt or both or whatever. So if Lopez is there to sort of teach the dirty tricks for a year and get guys to box out for a year and then he's gone, then whatever, $5 million. It's a B. It could be a C because it's very like sort of unremarkable. But yeah, they didn't have a lot of options or flexibility, and I think the Magic just sort of did well with their very limited, options, I guess, this summer. So I don't know, kind of right up there with Detroit in the not that interesting off seasons in the East.
that's a great point about Robin Lopez in the locker room. I'll bump them up to a C+ for that. Not
Yeah,
something
there
I
you
would
go.
consider.